my fellow multidimensionals. It's Asia Andromeda, founder of multidimensionalu.com. So it's a beautiful weekend here in rural Montana, and as promised, I am out in our beautiful patch of woods as a nice counterpoint to, just a lot of the fear and drama going on in the world. It's important to center ourselves, come back out, connect with the elements. I'm hoping that my hawk friends will come in and say hello before the video is over. So we have a lot of new people who have joined our YouTube channel and the email list. So I'm getting guided to speak to a little bit of two different levels of audience. Those of you who are brand new to multidimensional reality or very new, this greater reality and the concept of disruption. I should say that my camera and videos, I've given an invitation to our interdimensional friends, our higher selves, to use the camera for kind of emphasis, right? So sometimes you'll see screen flashes or even pixelation. These are the ways in which we can communicate interdimensionally while we're still relying on our physical senses. There are plenty of ways to communicate that don't involve our physical senses, but you will see a lot of that and some fun synchronicities too. And then the second audience would be those of you who've been following me for a while, or are, maybe just found me, but you've been through your own awakening journey. So we're going to talk about two different subjects today based on those different levels. And the first topic is moving ourselves, the importance of moving ourselves from crisis to conscious creation. And then that second level would be what I am certainly experiencing myself, and I'm sure many of you as way showers are as well. And that is that we are front running on the front lines multidimensionally at this time. So, I don't look so tired today, but you might hear in my voice, I think a lot of us are being taxed because of the kind of work that we're doing. So we'll circle back to that, all of that in a minute. First, though, I want to thank a donor. So some of you send in donations via my PayPal link in the YouTube descriptions. And so I'd like to say thank you so much to Joanna in Texas. I really appreciate your support. So, I have been asked to really kick up my presence online in a variety of ways. And as you know, I've been talking about this big directive that we're going to be announcing on Earth Day. So announcements are, I launched a show this month, so I've done 2 episodes. It's called Beyond Conscious, Becoming Multidimensional. You saw the screen flash, huh? And I am doing that live it's the second and fourth Tuesdays of every month. And I have been attempting it to use a restreaming service that goes to YouTube, my YouTube channel, and Facebook page, but I'm running into a lot of tech difficulties, especially as there's a lot of demand right now as people are at home. There are a lot of screen flashes today. I don't think I've ever seen this many screen flashes. And so I may be doing this just as a YouTube live going forward. It's also a podcast, it's available as a podcast audio on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. So again, Beyond Conscious, Becoming Multidimensional. I will be live channeling, bringing through energetic transmissions. It's really, it's a multidimensional media experience. So we'll be going beyond just talking, essentially. The other big announcement, of course, is the Earth Day meditation. We have opened up registration for that. We're hoping to get as many people as possible on that meditation. It's more than a meditation. So we do very powerful multidimensional work that is intended to help the human collective shift out of a lot of density, fear, and distortion and into higher vibrational coordinates. And it's in this echelon that we are able to find incredible new ideas, inspiration, perspectives, remembering to some of the challenges that the human population is facing at this time. And maybe if you're new to me, you might check out my book, How Mommy Got Her Magic Back. It's a free gift on my website. You can just go to multidimensionalu.com/book, and you can learn a little bit more about the trajectory I've been on and how I ended up in this role, remembering this greater reality and my place in all of that. All right, so let's dive into these topics. We are moving from crisis into conscious creation. So in a very simple sense, this means that we are moving out of reacting and into responding as a coping strategy for life. So when we get triggered by certain events, trauma into our reptilian brain, we go into survival mode and we cease to thrive. And beyond, a world pandemic, of course, which can be very unsettling for people who haven't been through any kind of awakening, disruption, deconstruction journey. And I'll be talking next week a lot more. I'll be revisiting the deconstruction topic because I know many of you are in that now. But for those of us, who've been through this a while, that we've really come to understand what this, what the deconstruction phase means and how it contributes to us moving into a more evolved, enlightened, individual life experience, and then as a collective, as a human collective, like how we're deciding to live, what kind of civilization we're deciding to build. And so there's incredible amounts of disruption and deconstruction at this time, and it's perhaps easy to get swept up in the fear, panic, anxiety. There's just a lot of emotion sweeping the planet right now, and as I've channeled the Arcturians, it's very important that humanity get out of their heads and back into feeling. So while it may be uncomfortable, that discomfort is actually serving us. Now, how we interpret these events and what kind of narrative we give to them determines what kind of emotional turmoil we will experience. So if we have the framework that we have called this in for our own benefit, we can understand that this perhaps is not a crisis, but a turning point. Right, and I can certainly testify to that from my own life experience. What felt like tragedy or crisis was actually a series of turning points, bringing me into greater alignment and attunement with a higher dimensional, greater multidimensional embodiment, understanding, perspectives, abilities. Right, there are abilities that come with reopening to your multidimensional self that would seem miraculous to our former selves. So it's really important to start to, if you've had a mindfulness practice, to really kick that back up, watch what you're thinking, watch what you're saying, watch what you're choosing to think and say, and then edit that into something that's much more empowering, right? Okay. Now, so those of you who are working multidimensionally, you are probably experiencing, like I am, that we are, it is really go time, it's show time for us right now. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is what we prepared for as Starseed Way Showers, right? So we're these souls coming in with a lot of experience with ascension and other star systems and spiritually advanced galactic collectives around this beautiful multiverse, saying, hey, yeah, I'd like to come in and assist. And this explains why so many people like myself, exhibited signs of understanding or perceiving themselves and their identity is somewhat different, usually from a very early age, and participating in things that were very atypical, So for me, that was being involved in human rights, the human rights movement from a very young age, just always looking to how can we help this planet shift, and joking at the age of 19 that, I must have gotten off on the wrong stop on the intergalactic tramway because I don't think I was supposed to end up on this planet. Like, who are these people and how did I end up here? Other people have told me that when they were young, my own daughter, in fact, when she was 5, told me that she was a dolphin. So she is coming in from the Syrian star system. That's a huge aspect of who, kind of where her experience lies in more water-based planets. Others have told me, when they were little, telling their parents that they were an alien, they weren't from here. The kiddos today remember exactly who they are and where they're from and kind of what conflict they've been through. So you may be surprised at what your children remember. We may just not ask them, and they may not freely offer that, especially kids under 5. So that's just a little background, again, for some of the newer folks, to what we're experiencing right now. And so we're working across multiple dimensions. Many of you may be experiencing some interesting dreams. or you may be waking up after performing certain missions in the astral, and you're, kind of coming back into a focus here while your greater multidimensional self was busy in other dimensions, and you've retained some of this information here. So it's been a very busy week that way for me. Beginning Monday or Tuesday night, doing major work, getting some blowback, which is par for the course, right? We can deal with some of that, but it's nothing that we can't handle, especially with little help. And so I just want to honor those of you, myself included, that have really been asked to step it up across multiple dimensions, right? Here in the physical, and then in higher vibrational coordinates as well, especially I would say in that fourth dimension. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening and playing itself out right there. And a lot of the work that we're here to do is to help invert and reverse maybe a lot of the more destructive trends and programs that have been running on this planet for a long time. So just want you all to it's some validation for the work that you're all doing, and to take really good care of yourselves. And also I kind of had this realization this morning, just to understand that you might just be tired. We just might be tired for a while because we are doing an incredible amount. So there are the front lines of healthcare workers in the physical who are working and doing a lot of tremendous work. And then there are those of us who are front running this shift in consciousness on this planet that are also on the front lines, but it's in the astral, right? And in higher dimensions. So that is the message, series of messages for this weekly vlog. I've kicked this back up in support of all of you, myself included, right? During these very tumultuous, chaotic, and yet very exciting times. Because now that the human population has joined the rest of us in disruption, deconstruction, the new emergent, more life-sustaining systems, rememberings can make their way into our civilization. So I'm not saying it's going to be easy, right? It's going to be a little bumpy, but a huge role we have is to help stabilize the chaos by holding the 0 point, getting ourselves grounded, staying there, not going into fear and panic along with everyone else. And what I'm being told now to share is this is a beautiful opportunity to take a big, giant step backwards and, bird's eye view of your life, your work, and where you're meant to begin to plug in differently or align differently or collaborate now in new ways. There's a lot of starseeds coming together in new ways is what I'm being shown. It's an exciting time. There are a lot of new potentials that humanity is ready to unlock. In talking with some of my clients who do healing work of various kinds, they are seeing a lot of people able to do much more healing in a shorter amount of time because of the interruption. Here in Montana, probably like maybe where you are on the planet, our governor instituted lockdown at midnight last night. So all shops are closed. We're being asked to just, hunker down and minimum movement necessary at this time. And so this is an incredible time for people to really be with themselves, with their family in a new way, and sort through some stuff that when we were able to be out and about and distracted, it was easy to avoid that deeper inner work and what I'm being told are inner truths now. So a lot of what you're being asked to do, we're all being asked to do, is live in ever greater alignment with our deepest truths that maybe felt inconvenient or extraneous before this disruption and now are taking center stage. So there we go. It's very straightforward. If you resonate with these messages, please do like, subscribe, share. This is what I'm on the planet for, is to provide greater context and energetic support for all of humanity at this time as we make this beautiful shift into a different octave of consciousness and embodiment, and bring conflict of the violent kind to a net zero on this planet in a very short amount of time. It is possible. I'm in almost constant contact with, I would say spiritually advanced or just higher consciousness-based, unity-based civilizations from other star systems, including the Andromeda galaxy, Arcturus, the Sirian system, the Pleiades, the Lyran system, the Antarean, and we could keep going. And there is so much support for us right now if we make ourselves available to it, right? They're not going to come in and do this for us. That's not appropriate. In the same way that you don't want to tie your children's shoes all the time for them. You want them to learn how to do that themselves. You feel the love coming through my field from them? That is exactly what they want to do. They want to show us how we can do this for ourselves. And we don't need a savior, and we don't need martyrs. And we can let go of being victims and living in scarcity and fear, and we can claim this much brighter, incredible future for ourselves now. It's beautiful. All right, so I hope to see you all on Earth Day. Next show, that's April 22nd. It's a meditation, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. You can register for that and get all the information. multidimensionalu.com/Earth Day, all one word. And then the next Beyond Conscious, Becoming Multidimensional show will be April 7th. All right, I love you all. Sending you all so much love from this beautiful forest in Montana. Stay in the 0 point, stay grounded, keep breathing, and I love you all. Bye for now.